It's funny because I always did memory games with my sister, and so the only reason I like to memorize all these words to things is because it helps me to talk faster, and that's my brain keep going because Russ never sleeps. So what you got to do is you got to stay 2 steps ahead of dementia and stuff, and I don't want that shit to start rusting my brain, so I do little memory games like that. And so like a song would come on ever since I was a little kid, I was able to do it, and I was able to think really fast, and that's why the bullies weren't able to really pick on me, because I could talk my way out of anything, and they'd be going, I don't even know what this dude's talking about. I'd be spouting all kinds of stuff. And at the time, it was dependent on whatever I was listening to, because I was raised by a gay Uncle Louie. Everybody should be raised by a gay Uncle Louie. Gay Uncle Louie was so cool, and so I would look at the bullies and I go, it's Liza with a Z, not Lisa with an S, cause Lisa with an S goes not Z. It's Z instead of Y, Y instead of C, Y instead of C, I'm Liza, C. And it was like that, and everything would just come to my brain. I was able to get out of trouble, and I'd run away, and they'd be going, I'm fucking scared of that guy. It's what they're doing. And I wouldn't even have had to do anything, because I was able to talk my way out of it. But the problem was the shit was getting so fast in my brain, I couldn't shut it off. So that's why I would just play guitar for hours, and then friends would come over and write songs, and then some of those songs would turn out to be so beautiful, and they'd use them on the soundtrack to huge movies that made millions and millions, and the record that it was on would sell millions of like, remember that guy Hugh Grant? He was in this movie called Notting Hill, and it was with Julia Roberts, and they were like, man, we love your song. It's so beautiful how you talk about the freckles. And I was like, oh yeah, the reason I talk about the freckles is because my mom told me if you had freckles on your face, it meant you were kissed by angels. And he was like, whoa, dude, you could slow down a little. And they used the song on the soundtrack. And Hugh Grant loved this song, and a bunch of people got married to it. And so they told me if you want to do a different version of it for the soundtrack to make it all different, we'll fly you out, because I was on a major label at the time before I got dropped. And so because they were like, that dude's nuts on Maguzzo. So what happened was, they go, you can have anything you want, because the original version was like this. It was really pretty, and it was slow and beautiful. And I said I can do anything. They go, yeah. I go, get me a first-class ticket to New York. So I was living in San Diego, and so they fly me to New York, and I go, get me Lou Giordano to produce it. Lou Giordano was at the time producing all those huge Goo Goo Dolls hits, huge Goo Goo Doll hits. Made all this money. I wanted Lou Giordano, and they go, okay. They pay all this money, because I was on a major label at the time. Money was just flowing. People were buying CDs. It was the 80s, it was the 90s, it was a different time. So all this money's coming in, and they go, what else you want? And I go, I want Beck's dad to do the strings, because Beck, who write, oh, I'm a perdido, I'm a loser, baby. So his dad is so cool. And so I wanted Beck's dad to do the string arrangement, because he's a great string arranger. So then I go, and I want the New York Philharmonic to play on it. And they're like, what, dude? You're spending a lot of money here. I just kept saying stuff. They go, is that it? I go, I want the vintage black Les Paul and Marshall Stacks, because I'm going to play an electric on it. And they go, all right. So they get that. And then I go, whoa. And I was like Steve Jobs. But wait, there's one more thing. And I go, they go, what? And I go, I need you to fly a bagpipe player out from Scotland. They fly the fucking guy out. And he shows up in a kilt, drunk. Like total stereotyping, living up to the reason why people say shit like that. He's so wasted. I can't understand a word he's saying. So, like in the wrong guy, like that. It's so cool. So I got him to play on it. So if you hear the Notting Hill version, you'll hear bagpipes, string arrangement, a distorted black Gibson vintage Les Paul produced by Lou Giordano. It is so badass. Unfortunately, you're not going to hear that version tonight. But I'll give you the way I originally wrote it. And this is the one that Hugh Grant loved, and this is what got me the gig. And this is the version that I put on my record, One Left Shoe. And so many of my friends have gotten married to this song, and it's a romantic song. And that's why I can go from writing a song like Quarantine Blues, or Sugar Boogers, or Hitchhiker Joe, and then I can go into something really pretty. Because why limit yourself? Why just eat tacos every night? Try a grilled cheese sandwich. Buy it on Shakedown Street. The price is now $10. Here's the song. love the way you comb your hair, and I love the way you sashay in the room. Your perfume lingers in the air. I love everything about you. Whoa, about you. I love the way you lick your lips, dear. You got fireworks in your head, and I love the way you bring me water when I'm thirsty in your bed. I love everything about you. Whoa, about you. So I wrote this all alone, so now I said to myself, Steve, should you put a bridge in this song? And I thought about it for a while, and I was like, yeah, because I want to write one more verse, but I really feel like it needs a middle 8 section, and it comes back into it, and then you want to hear that guitar riff again. And I was like, that's true, Steve, that is a good idea. And then the other Steve goes, I don't think you should because it might make the song too long. But then the other Steve said, no, I'm right, I live on the right brain, so let's do this shit. So we'll get to the bridge now. I love everything about you. Okay. You were surely kissed by angels. Look at the freckles on your face. You got the devil in your eyes. You disappear without a trace. Wish you could hear the other version. But in my mind right now, I'm thinking I might be able to do it. Like I might look like I'm into the loving part of the song, but I seriously couldn't give 2 shits about it. I want you to hear the other one, so I'm faking like I'm into it. But I'm gonna get to the 3rd verse. Here goes. Taxi cab confessions. I'm kidding, I really do like this song. I love it actually. I love sneaking up behind you when you're looking in the mirror. The way your eyes lock into mine, dear, without guilt and without fear. I love everything about you. Whoa, about you. I think I have it. Ooh. Give me a second while I get my iPhone. This is gonna take 1 sec.
Where else do you get it?
Seriously? This is gonna be the fucking coolest segue you've ever seen. But you might be thinking right now, dude's lost his mind. But no, I'm gonna show you. It's gonna be the comeback kid, and you're gonna freak out. Go like this. Steve Poltz, everything about you. Steve Poltz sounds like an infidel. I'll have him killed. Everything about you. Everything about you. Okay. I'm almost there, you guys. Do you have faith? Yeah. You really do? Okay. I lost it where I thought I had it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to YouTube, And I'm gonna go like this. Watch this. Okay. Steve Toltz, Everything About You, Notting Hill. Oh yeah, you're right. Here it is. Oh my God. Here it goes. Okay.
ED is personal.
ED.
You can't write this shit. What if I really had it planned? I'm gonna let the ad play. Huh.
It's called Hymns?
How do I get it?
Just eat the pill?
What the fuck? On my song, they're doing that shit? What a bunch of bull- fuck you!
Oh, here's the song. Check this out, you're gonna hear a bagpipe.
I wasn't lying. Turn it up. Lou Giordano's production. Badass.
I love everything about you. I love the way you comb your hair. I love the way you sashay in the room. Your perfume lingers in the air. I love everything.
Strings. Come on, girls, let's lose those hips. Is that cool? So, I can't even believe that ED ad was the best thing ever. I'm gonna always remember that story. Sometimes God hands you material. Whatever God is, who knows?
I don't know. Whenever I meet somebody and they're like real born again Christian, I'm like, I like it. I like seeing people that know what they like. Me, I'm messed up in the head. When I went to rehab, they were like, you gotta have God, make God your higher power. I was raised so Catholic, I was like, I can't do that. They go, well, you need a power greater than yourself to be your higher power. And I go, Neil Young. And the people in AA totally agreed with him. I made Neil Young my higher power. Because I had put out this record called Answering Machine, and Neil Young loved it. It had 56 songs because we recorded Jules' record. We lived at Neil Young's ranch when we made that record, and the Stray Gators were the band, and I got to be the guitarist with the Stray Gators on her record. And then Neil Young liked this record I put out, and it had 56 songs. 56! But every song was 45 seconds. And I didn't even know I wrote the songs because I would just make a message up every morning. Like I made up songs here tonight. Like we'll never hear that Fats Waller song again or that other one, you know? Like they just get made up and they're gone. They're sort of ephemeral. They just poof. So this guy, unbeknownst to me, was taping them. And he came up to me one day and he owned a punk rock label called Scamorama Records. And he put out my friends the Dragons, Mario Escobedo, Alejandro Escobedo's younger brother, y sus hijos, me gusta México mucho, mi favorito país en todo el mundo. So he's like, Ted Terrace, he was a writer for this punk rock magazine called Flipside, and he loved my band, the Rugburns. And so he started recording all my messages, but he would hold up a Radio Shack tape recorder, call my house. It was the 80s or 90s? 90s. And he would hold the Radio Shack tape recorder up to his phone. And it was so lo-fi. It was so freaking lo-fi. And so Neil Young came over to my friend Henry Diltz's house. And Henry Diltz is this great photographer who took the cover of Crosby, Stills and Nash, James Taylor, all these Jackson Browne, Saturated for You, and Joni Mitchell Blue. He's the best photographer ever. And He's 85 years old, and I love Henry Diltz. I call him my teacher, and he took the cover photo for my record, One Left Shoe, back in the day when I had unending money from Mercury Records just given to me, hence that version of that song. So Henry Diltz, when somebody dies, you know, and you're bummed out, and you're like, my dad died. And your friends usually go, oh, buddy, are you all right? This is what Henry Diltz does. He goes, I go, Henry, my dad died. And he goes, oh, good for him. He's floating around up there. Oh, he's so happy. He graduated. Good for him. And I walk away going, this is awesome. What a great way to look at death. It just flipped my whole mindset out of there and got me out of the depression I was in after I lost my dad 2 years ago. Because when your friend says that, you're like, whoa, maybe he knows something I don't. And hopefully by the time you're 85, you know more than I do, which is really cool because we got to remember to learn from those folks. And that's what's so cool about being alive. Every day is so fun, yet a lot of times we get glued because it's addictive to tragedy porn. And it's just like we can't quit reading it, but you are what you eat. And so what you need to do is put that thing down. I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just saying, think about this. If I was gonna have Steve Poltz over to my house and make him some pancakes, how does he like his pancakes? So then you put down your phone and you start laughing. Oh, he likes them really thin. Do not make Steve Poltz thick pancakes. They can't be as thin as a crepe, but a little bit thicker, and you need 6 of them stacked up with butter in between each one, melting hot, and real Canadian maple syrup on top. And when he cuts it, he gets 6 little pieces of thin pancake all together with the butter dripping down and that beautiful maple syrup. And think that, and then you've already put down the tragedy porn, and then go, maybe I should write a song, because if you write songs or create or write a poem, anything, it makes you younger because you're creating. And you need to do this to pay homage to God, or whatever God is, the spirits in the sky. I don't claim to know, so don't ever look to me for advice on that. All I know is, if you're on this planet, think about what Kurt Vonnegut said. Remember when he goes, hello, babies, welcome to planet Earth. It's cold in the winter and hot in the summer. It's wet and mostly crowded. At the outside, babies, you've got about 100 years on this planet. And there's only one rule I know of to speak of. God damn it, you've got to be kind.
Right on.